Alright, is this thing on? I'm wearing my 3 Wolf Moon shirt today. It's tucked in because I'm a dork, apparently. But now it is fashionably untucked. And I'm wearing my 3 Wolf Moon shirt today because it's also laundry day. Ordinarily, I don't wear this shirt unironically, but today I'm just wearing it because it's the only clean piece of clothes I have right now. Do we have audio going on? Yes, we do. Okay, so this is What's Up, Dave. This is the daily stream where I catch up with my friends on the internet and let people know what I'm doing, and if other people have stuff they want to share and they tell me about it, I will share that too, but no one has, so there's nothing to share except for my own face. And today is Cleaning Whirlwind Day. And Whirlwind is an idea I got from visiting my cousin's family in California when their kids were young. And Diana was trying to get the kids to clean up their toys, and they're like 3 or 4, so they're not doing anything. So she turned it into this game called, we're going to be a cleaning whirlwind. We're a whirlwind. We're picking up stuff and putting it in the box. And it kind of worked, but I was charmed by the idea. So whenever I have to do a cleaning of things and want to do it quickly and don't want to dwell on how horrible it's making me feel, I just put this whirlwind mode on. And the reason for the whirlwind is, well, Dad's visiting on Saturday. He'll be here for like 3 weeks until after Thanksgiving. And also the space itself, I think I just mentioned this, it's sapping my energy because it's a mess. And now that I have the camera set up so I can actually move this around a little bit more easily, we can then kind of see what we're talking about. Those boxes, the destock from the Amazon warehouses for the holidays. You can't see over there, but there's like just junk everywhere. And the basement is full of junk. And for me to get the stuff out of the living room, I actually need to clear the basement out, which means I need to throw stuff out there somehow. And I don't know how I'm gonna do it. So I'm going to do the cleaning whirlwind. Oh, Courtney says in her house, it's the 15-minute pickup. That sounds great. Great. The 15-minute pickup. Oh, Christmas is coming too, yeah. Damn it, I just remembered. 3 months ago, I knew exactly where I was going to put the Christmas tree. It was going to be there. But now that when I rearranged the living room, there's stuff there. So I'm going to have to figure out how that's going to work too. Christmas. Christmas is coming. While Dad is here, we're going to try to combine. Don't tell him, but we're going to see if we can combine a little bit of Christmas, a little bit of Thanksgiving. So, to see, he lives in Taiwan, and he doesn't get to see Christmas here in the States very often anymore. So, cleaning whirlwind. House is full of stuff. Negative energy. Siphoned out. Blah. So, but I'm going to try to keep a positive mood. Earlier on, I was in our co-working chat room hanging out with Courtney and Vicky and trying to absorb their positive energy that's strange, what happened to all this stuff? Just to kind of know that other people were working. After I stream, we'll get back to that. But I also might just move the auxiliary camera downstairs and then just live stream a decluttering session. That sometimes feels good. So what else is going on? I just rediscovered my hedgehog pillow, which is amazing. And this month, because Dad's going to be here for 3 weeks, this means my regular diet is probably going to be off. My sister and her boyfriend will be here probably on the weekends. Dad will be here. While he's here, I want him to eat all the good things he wants to eat, which means I need to eat them too, which means that this will be a good opportunity to practice, what's this? Anyway, to practice eating more, what's the word I'm looking for? Eating more mindfully, and then also exercising more. So I think I might be able to do that now. I have my basic bachelor chow needs. I think Dad would be up with that. So just like, very, very few refined carbs. And Dad's diabetic also, so we could probably work that out. Protein's fine. Leafy vegetables are fine. I think the occasional very, very good piece of bread would be good. Let's see. Data Inc. Spring asks in chat room, may I ask you for more work? Suggestion? I'm not sure what you're talking about. What kind of work do you mean? Do you mean more work videos or... Anyway. So let me think of the plan of action today. While waiting for a response. Let me go to the multicam split view. Or this view. Oh, that's an interesting view. What is that? Oh, that's the camera is. That's the camera lid. Yeah, I'm gonna show you how nasty it is. Back over there. Zoink. Can this reach over? So back here, there's all mess on the kitchen tables. Messy. It makes me sad. And I can take this camera downstairs. There's all this like laundry and like this stuff that I was supposed to finish cleaning up. I mean, it's not looking tremendously good here. Yep. Not looking good. Not happy. Not happy about it. Alright. Oh, okay. So, about the timetables being sold digitally. Timetables. Which timetables? Speaking about what I have on Amazon. By timetable, what do you mean, Data Inc.? Do you mean... is there a specific form? Like, for example, if you're not familiar with my other work, I have... if you go to my website, davidsay.com, productivity tools, there's a bunch of free downloadable forms that are here. Are you talking about these? Book format for Kindle. I'm not quite getting it. You want a Kindle version of stuff. But anyway, so there's a bunch of downloadable forms here. These are all free, largely. Some of them are links to other things. So the first thing is like the Emergent Task Planner. There are some things that aren't quite as well known. I don't have Amazon versions of these. Is this what you're looking for? Like a specific one? Yeah, why don't you if you can shoot me, like if you're on Twitter, you can @ me or you can email me at davidsay.com. David@davidsay.com. Yeah, that would just let me know what you're looking for, and I'll see if I have something that I have or can do for you. Oh, are you talking about the ETP journal? Okay, there is something I have called the ETP journal. Maybe that's something that was what you're looking for. If you're using the Emergent Task Planner, which is this thing, and I'm talking to Data Inc. here, and you scroll down, there is a digital version of that I make. So there's I need to make a new one for next year. Oops. Is Gumroad down? Huh. That's not good. Let's hope with Gumroad. I might have to fix that. So David's, I think shop. davidsay.com. Nope. Shop.davidsay.com. I'm trying to find out where this download is. Anyway, there is a 365-day journal. Oh, yeah, okay, I do sell it here. I need to update those links. For a printed journal for every day. It comes in a variety of formats. I should drop the price of this because it's so close to the end of the year. I should probably do that nevertheless. Yeah, if you email me, I'll just, I'm going to just drop the price of that to to $0 so people can just buy it. Let me do that. It's so close to the end of the year, that's why bother with selling it at $12. I'll just see if people want refunds too, if they bought it too late. Let me fix the links on this, though. And catch a bit of work. So the reason why I don't offer pre-printed versions of the Emergent task planner is that when you're printing in small print runs like I do, the cost of doing one pre-printed journal with all the different dates and stuff like that ends up being like $75 per one. And that's costs of production. If you're printing like in hundreds of thousands of these things, you can afford to sell them for like $16 or something like that. But it's much too expensive for me to offer it, which is too bad. So let me change this link so it works on something. So these have to be, since Gumroad seems to be not working now. I don't think this is the right link for this. What is all this crap? Analytics? Oh, I didn't even know I could see this stuff. That's the front page stuff, 11% store. Why can't I just find my... Confused by my own website. I thought that was just a regular product listing link. So this is in the front page featured, which is I don't want. I wonder if we could just do this. Nope. Alright, I guess I'll just use those links. So it looks like this has both variants. You pick either. Right, you pick it here. Okay. So I could just need one portfolio link. Alright, so that link should be updated now. Yeah, shoot me a tweet at DaveSay. I forgot I could do this. I can type. That's my Twitter. Twitter. Bullet journal? Yeah, the bullet journal is pretty awesome. I didn't know he made a Kindle version of that. You can actually edit with it. So the idea of actually making Kindle stuff. Yeah. That's mysterious. So cool. So thanks for asking, Data Inc. Yeah, this next year or this year, I really need to get my act together on all the digital stuff, all the sales stuff. I've been so busy with other project work, just paying, programming work, that I really haven't had time to really think about the product stuff. I did launch a few new products this year. I may produce what I thought was a reasonably small run of things. I didn't order 1,000 of them. I ordered 100 of them. But what I neglected was the promotional work that would have to go into letting people know that was there. Because there's just so much stuff on the internet these days. And my blog itself is no longer a driver of early adopters because I have been writing on it regularly. Which is why I'm working on my new blog format, so I will feel like writing on it regularly in the format that I want to write in. So there's this big long cascade of things that are not happening for me right now. That I just need to sort of push through. But I'm feeling pretty positive now. I've worked through a lot of things this year, and am, I think, feeling pretty good, especially with the recent insights I had about not only the nature of myself, but the nature of the work that I do. One struggle for me has been trying to figure out what is the branding concept. Or to put it in a less gross way, what is it that I do that that's really close to my heart? I was going to say passionate, but that's almost an overused term these days. It means too many things to too many people. For me, what I want to do is have work with meaning that I feel good about, that I know with certainty that it's good work, it's helpful work, it's priced fairly, and people can get access to it and understand it. And at the same time being true to my own self, my own values, and using that as a basis to, I guess, gather like-minded people. who are kind, conscientious, positive, self-empowered, and want to share those values with people around them. And so what do you call that? You don't call it productivity. You don't call it, being a guru or a coach or something like that. So the thought I had was that it's actually about being my best self. This is part of the ongoing personal identity projects work I've been doing. Personal identity, like who the hell am I? What the hell am I? So I've been seeing a therapist about gender identity. And so this is actually a big part of things that have been like just kind of lurking beneath the surface for decades. And so now I'm just starting to work through that stuff and understand what it means. And understand it's like, well, what can I do about it now? But it's interesting having just nailed down what is it that feeling has been, and whether or not it's something that's part of me or something that's deviant or something that's a problem. And I no longer think it's a problem, and I no longer think it's going to be an issue. And so now that that's out of the way, this other stuff opens up. So the idea of being one's best self, that's always something that's been part of me. So for me to acknowledge those aspects of myself that didn't seem comfortable, that's part of being my best self. Being around people who are aspiring to do good and great things for each other, that's part of being my best self. To be able to be myself without apology, to be myself without feeling that I have to do things for appearance's sake. That's being my best self, and making it other people around me feel that they can be comfortable enough in my presence and in the things that I do and the things that I stand for, so they can be their best selves and they don't have to do things for the sake of appearances. That's part of what's very important to me too. And so I can recast the idea of productivity, at least my own personal approach to productivity, as an attempt to be my best self. I'm not interested in being more productive for the sake of getting work done more quickly. I'm not interested in increasing my bottom line so much. But really what I'd like to be around people who are happy and empowered. And I think people who are happy and empowered, they're being their best selves, or they are unlocked to become their best selves. Certainly any advances that I made were done in environments where I was encouraged and supported, even when I was doing things wrong or the hard way. I was allowed to do that, or I allowed myself to do it. And that's the kind of environment I want to stand for. You can see that's littered throughout my productivity design work, especially in the ETP. I don't know how many people really notice this stuff, but let me take a look at it. So if I'm looking at the ETP, not there, it's on this page. Let's look at the English one, because that's the one I can read. Damn it, it says... I disabled the built-in Google PDF viewer because it's broken. It doesn't actually display PDFs correctly, unless they fix it. So what I'm talking about is like the being your best self, making it possible to be your best self. It's very much an idea of culture and attitude. So with the 3 major tasks today, what other people would call most important tasks, or the frogs you're supposed to eat, I'm saying realistic expectations equals consistent daily productivity. So I'm trying to make a statement here that implies that, you don't have to do everything. And then there's like gentle prompting throughout the work that I do that tries to put you in the right mindset, or it's all right not to be super productive, even though I acknowledge your desire to be super productive, and then try to offer some sort of helpful hint. And then, so I think these strike a pretty good line. Realistic expectations equals consistent daily productivity. Tackling more than 3 major tasks, clear your mind and go for it. More than 6 major tasks, reserve some energy for tomorrow. This is about pacing and self-care, essentially, but it's put it in a way that I think is practical and isn't like too cloying. I can't stand things that are cloying, because but this is as much wisdom as I'm able to impart on this form. This is the old version, I just realized. This is the version 3 ETP. I still need to officially launch version 4. No one's complained about it, so I think it's ready. And also the current products on Amazon that have been restocked, the full-size ETP notebook and the 75-sheet ETP pads are now using the V4 design, which has more room to write in compared to this one. So like basically this left side is a little wider because I got rid of one of these columns, and I also removed 2 of these hour tracking bubbles because I was never using them. So I can make this wider and move it over. So it's easier to write in. So these are some changes I made when I was writing it with it every day. Now Data Inc. says, higher is a self. It's an Eastern Hindu spirituality. Yes, that's a good source for that. I mean, I guess the idea of following, I'm not sure if this is Eastern or not, because maybe it is. So the idea of the heart. What are you listening to your heart? This is something I remember reading from Paul Coelho's The Alchemist, which is an amazing book. What I really loved about that book was there's this one chapter in which the protagonist learns to talk to his heart. And his heart is, according to The Alchemist, the heart is this kind of fearful, fretful thing that will make you react in weird ways and not always have your best interest at heart. But it's part of you, and taking the time to talk to it and understand its fears and its needs allows you to move on with other things. And I think in my particular case, the way that I'm wired is like I have two facets in this case. I seem to like facets. For example, there's this technology side of me, and then there's this art design side of me. So I have a master's degree in electrical engineering, computer engineering, and a master's degree in fine arts, computer graphic design. I work as a technical director and a creative director when I'm at places. I apparently have this non-binary duality of gender identity. I also have this hard analytical side, and I have this soft internal side. So in MBTI terms, Myers-Briggs type indicator for you personality nerds out there. My self is an INFP, which is a very value-based, I would say a sensitive side. That's my core. The external side, though, is int J. This is what you're seeing now, probably. The int J is saying, like, all right, these are the facts. This is what's going on. This is what I want to do. This is the intuition I have about what we need to do next is this. And it can sound very confident and very sure because it is. It's also confident enough to actually take dissent. So someone said, I don't think that's the way it is, so for example, like someone says, oh, this is an Eastern Hindu spirituality thing. And I was thinking like, it very well could be. Let me reassess my thoughts on this and expand my view to accommodate it to see if it fits. Or maybe I am talking about something a little bit different. So I can accept other people's worldviews and accept other people's ways of doing things as being appropriate for them. And it may be appropriate for me, but I need to run it through my own filters first. And I need to tweak my understanding of things to see how they fit. And so this is the side that I generally show to people. But underneath of all of this, there's like a little kid running around in the meadow barefoot chasing butterflies, because the NJ side of me is the protector of that. It's the enabler of that. And that's where I really live. That's my heart. And I think what I've missed for a long time was trying to figure out, how do I put my heart out there in a way that doesn't make me look weak, still inspires confidence, and I guess those are the fears. I mean, like it's scary to be vulnerable, to show people that you like things like amazing hedgehog pillows with pink clouds on the back of it. Something just started playing music. Something on YouTube. How did that get launched? That's weird. But anyway, that's what I'm talking about. Data Inc. was using the day grid balancer. I should really revisit that. How have you liked the day grid balancer? Let me take a look at that. It's been a while since I've looked at it. There is a public editable version of that. Degrid bouncer. This is it. When did I work on this? There's two of them. I wonder which one they're using. I mean, like, this is a relatively simple form, too. You know, it's probably not one of my fancier ones. The main concept of it is satisfying things I want to do this week, darn it. I used to say damn it, but there are a lot of there are several Christian ministers who followed my blog at the time who disapproved of my use of the language, and I felt bad for them, so I changed it to be a little bit less expletive. Oh well, I'm a preacher's kid, and so I find uses of expletives incredibly satisfying. So, yeah, when did I do this? Oh, this happened here. This is all goofed up. That is weird. I never noticed that before. This is editable. This is the Illustrator editable version. I thought there was a version that had okay, I did this when Creative Suite 4 was the version, so that puts that back at least 7 years or something like that. Huh. Yeah, the Degrid balancer. Yeah, one letter was off. Send you a link. So I'm reading, filter's always good. Your life is yours for a reason. And on my desk to see they like to farm. So a book. I've been thinking about putting together a booklet. What I've been promised on, and I am delinquent on delivering, is on my Patreon page. Patreon, let's see. One of the perks on my Patreon is to create a mega pack of things. So that's kind of everything in one place, because it's impossible to find stuff on my website, and it's such a mess. One reason why I want to redo it. Where am I looking? How do I even find my own page? I'm always confused by this. This is my page? Do I want to go to... How do I see my own stupid page? Is this it? This is it. So I have... I think I even took out the... Alright, let's forget this part. Let's just look at the actual files themselves. So Dropbox, let's go to... Oops, not projects. I should really rename these. Personal... products. I forgot what I was looking for already. Oh, the booklet, right. So the Patreon Rewards project, the Mega Pack. This is something I need to get back to, but these are all the files that are... I went through everything I'd made over the past few years, and to see how many forms were there. It says there's 299 items in there, but that's not true. Is there that many? But it's every single form. So you can download them all at once, plus like little things like funny posters I made. The various versions of the planners, the 7-day planner in the US. Someone asked me for this. I don't know if they were using it. Note-taking stuff. These are the fast book outliners. Some motivational stuff like the Angry Task Planner, which Dina in the chat room reminded me that I'd made. I like this angry scribble things. This is when you're feeling super annoyed and don't want to do anything, but you have to. So you write down the things that you can tolerate doing, and then afterwards, whether or not you feel grudging pleasure and relief or nihilistic indifference, but you're still alive. Abject hate for all, but at least it's done. So I made this when I was in a bad mood, and some of my best work is done when I'm in a bad mood. So anyway, this is something that I'm working on for Patreon supporters. And you can be a Patreon supporter for as little as $1 a month for 1 month. So it's going to be a good freaking deal. But it's something I've been experimenting with. So anyway, when I was talking about all that other stuff with the, being my best self and finding other people to be their best selves with, I'm not sure what the language is for this yet. But the Patreon, the co-working chat room, my blog, this, whatever this is, this stream, these are all aspects of, I think, what that mission is. I think it ties together on the idea, like, how do we be our best selves? And not only that, it's not just in a purely, spiritual sense. It's also in a mastery sense. How do I be my best self making stuff? What are the best processes to do this? How do I design a good-looking form? How do I 3D print, like, a bell? How do I use a bell more effectively in my day-to-day life? Those kind of things. And so, but not underneath the umbrella of being productive, but under the umbrella of, like, really being our best selves and pursuing those things that make us feel our best or appeal to our sense of what is the best. But without that sort of snooty tinge of, like, I only use the best, or, like, only the best is good enough for me. No, there's this desire to embody it. Maybe that's what I'm trying to do. And I notice that a lot of my friends and people I get along with, they have this desire for things that are of quality and be around people who have quality and all those kind of things. So that was much more than I was thinking of talking about today. But I know things are moving along. I need to just clean up the house today. I need to do my laundry. As sexy as this shirt is, I don't know if you've seen the descriptions. If you look up 3 Wolf Moon shirt on Amazon, there's all these amazing descriptions of how this shirt changed people's lives. So far, it hasn't really worked for me. Although, actually, I'm having the big epiphany while wearing this shirt, and I'm talking about it. So maybe it is working. Huh. I was wrong to doubt the power of this shirt. You should go get your own. It's even made by a company in New Hampshire, so you'll be supporting my home state. So anyway, I've talked long enough. I need to get to work. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Happy November 1st. I need to start looking at the Obamacare ACA like plans. I'm expecting a huge premium hike. So that is more fire under my ass to get working on, well, make more money, I suppose. Let me just check the chat room really quick. So, okay, that's why Edita Inc. wants a book. Angry Task Planner. Yeah. Yep. All right, so thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Noink. Now I wait for 10 seconds so I can stop the stream. And after I stop the stream, then the end of this won't get cut off. I'm gonna do some chair dancing until I see it pop up. Yeah. I know I'm tired.